Hello, welcome along to Bangkok Chit Chat. It's Andrew and Andy, and we're at it again. Yes, we are. You all right, go on then, say what you've got to say something about.
Okay, so hope you've seen our Thai food tasting. What is it?
Oh yeah,
video.
got that. Yeah,
we just released that last week. So if you go to the YouTube channel or you come across it in Facebook, you can see that. Very interesting, quite amusing. And we've just done another one. I'm not going to tell you what food it is on a product which was sent through to us. All through a telephone call, and they said, "Would you like something free?" And I've been Scottish, and I went, "Wow, yeah!" So I took it, and we just finished another video on that. So that'll be coming out within the next week or so about food delivery.
and we've also done another one about what is it that hasn't come to their screens yet.
So that's coming out as well. So there's some foodie stuff coming out.
Yeah.
But we've got a regular spot just now. This is Bangkok Chit Chat. And we're just going to go through one of the articles, and we're breaking things up where we had everything together before, which is also going to be available, but we're actually breaking it up into bite chunks. So just follow that, and we'll take it from there.
You lost me from the food bit. Okay,
all right. Interested in the food, that's fine.
Smoking at home to soon become a punishable offence, and we're going to talk about what is the new law, protecting children. Can the public report people that break the law? What are the general laws regarding smoking? What are the fines? And advice for tourists, and plus a little bit of back in the day of smoking, being an ex-smoker and whatever. What is the new law? Do you know what it is?
Basically, as I understand, you are not going to be allowed to smoke in your home.
I know. It says people in Thailand will no longer be allowed to smoke at home if their habit has a negative effect on other family members due to exposure to secondhand smoke. This is according to the Act on Promotion of the Family Institute, Development and Protection, which will go into effect August the 20th this year.
Right, okay.
This Act addresses domestic... I just don't get it, but the Act addresses domestic violence in all forms, states that smoking at home can be harmful to health and thus is a form of violence towards others that live at home with you. The director of the Tobacco Control Research and Knowledge Management... Why are these names so flipping long? The Tobacco Control Research and Knowledge Management Centre, which is under Mahidol University's Faculty of Medicine, said his agency had found that nearly 5 million households have smokers and over 10 million people are exposed to secondhand smoke at home. Do you think it's valid, basically?
I think the subject is very valid.
Absolutely.
I think for secondhand smoke, it gets up people's noses, they used to say. Yeah.
Well, it does get up people's noses.
But I don't know, I'm just against all this cotton wooling. Why do you have to make it into a law? Basically what you're saying is that in general with kids today, because we know more about smoking and how it can damage people, says me coughing, is that you wouldn't do that in front of your kids.
Well,
and socially it would be frowned upon as well today.
I mean, aren't people
why do we have to change everything into laws?
Are people sort of sitting down to a meal in their house and then all the kiddies in their high chairs and everything, and then they light up a cigarette at the table where, obviously the
social
secondhand
norms
smoke,
say you wouldn't
they
do
go
that
into the
today.
garden or something to smoke a cigarette nowadays. In the old days, that would happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, I remember even when we were kids, we'd sit at the fire, the hearth, and mum and dad would be there, and they'd be smoking, and it was horrible. There was like the Bisto. Remember the Bisto adverts?
Oh yeah,
and it goes in your nose, and it was like that. And we didn't particularly like it. We'd moan and groan, but it was socially acceptable. I'm not saying they didn't know the harms of smoking. Of course they did, but it was socially acceptable at that time. I was invited. Right, I'm a smoker. Right, I'll admit it. Yeah. So
I'm a reformed smoker.
You're a reformed smoker. I must admit, I'm not as bad as I was, but well, when I have a beer, yeah. Anyway, so if I'm asked at a party or something like that, if you can't smoke in the house, I would never even ask that, to be perfectly honest today. Wouldn't. But I remember many years ago, I was at somebody's party and they turned around and said, I said, I'm just going out for a cigarette out in the garden. Yeah. It was freezing cold.
Yeah, I know.
And someone said, no, I don't approve of you even smoking in the garden. And I said, that's fine then, I'm going home. So I left. Because now there's a degree of where I've got
where
a right
hospitality starts, where there is a hospitality thing. Look, you come to our house, right, and you have a barbecue, and you'll smoke, but you're very careful how you do it. You go to the side of the table, and,
Yeah,
and
it's called
we
common
can smell
courtesy.
it a little bit, but we're not good. It's not doing us any harm, as far as I know. And there'll be people saying, maybe rightly so, oh, it does affect you. Yeah, all right, but I'm not
my choice.
I'm not going to get my wife or me say to you, no, you can't smoke, because I know you want to, and I know it's part of the evening, and I'm not going to spoil your evening and sod it, basically speaking.
But where they're coming from in here, I understand that they want to pass a law, and they're saying they're going to fine people.
Well, that's the. We're going to go to like how it was to smoke back in the old days. But protecting children, can the public report people that break the law? And this is where it gets even more confusing, because he said that the law allows people to report to authorities if they find a child being exposed to secondhand smoke, while the Act will regard smoking at home as domestic violence.
I think.
But who's going to do the reporting?
Well, are they going to have another one of these 4-digit numbers you've got to call? Yeah.
The hotline.
I think we should have a directory of 4-digit numbers. Yeah, there's so many of them
The
now.
hotline directory, right?
Yeah.
I know. He said the head of the Department of the Women's... Oh, here we go again. The head of the Department of Women's Affairs and Family Development explained that the law does not seek to ban smoking in people's homes. It said that the laws have simply been brought about to protect children and other vulnerable people from the negative health effects of secondhand smokers. And they do say inside homes, but when someone says inside your home, that's kitchen. Sorry, that's the house and the garden and everything. But do they mean inside the home? I know.
Yeah,
I know. I agree. I don't think anyone should smoke inside a house, because you go into a smoker's house and it smells of smoke.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than the second-hand smell.
Well,
of
don't
smoke.
forget, we've got the glory here in Thailand in that when we go outside, it's still warm. Yeah? But if you're back in the UK or some freezing country, you're going to...
We used to do that Christmas back at home, and I'd be freezing. Now, what are the general laws regarding smoking? Well, here we go. Smokers heading outside the front of buildings in Thailand for a quick ciggy will soon be a thing of the past. New laws have been enacted that will shortly come into force. New regulations have been issued by the Department of Public Health, which will force smokers to stay well away from public buildings and also public areas. There will be a 5-metre perimeter exclusion zone from the entrances or exits of all public buildings. I guess because they don't want people coming out of the buildings and smelling smoke.
Well, I agree with regards to public buildings, but what happens if you're a restaurant?
Well, you just smoke outside, don't you?
Yeah, but you have to be 5 metres away, don't you?
Well, it says the ban will include people smoking outside cafes and restaurants and airports.
Right, so basically a person can't go for a cigarette. What are they going to do? Go and stand in the middle of the street?
Well, I mean, let's do what it's like back in the day now, because I remember when you could smoke in a restaurant, right? And a table next to you,
and
they would be smoking.
And all stuff. Shows how old we
well,
are.
but at the restaurant, you would be smoking, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the smell of smoke while I was eating. And I felt, I don't remember feeling uncomfortable by doing it, though.
Well, the other thing is, that to what point do we have to have legislation for everything that is out there? When actually the marketplace will decide. Would you go back to a restaurant where someone was smoking beside you when you're eating your food? No. So the market decides that. So
it's up to the restaurant to say, please, no smoking.
Yes, yeah. Even if you say, oh, we have smoking areas, but the fact is the smoke's going to other people who are non-smokers, so they're not going to go back. Look at the pubs in the UK, yeah, and around the world that ban smoking. They're dead.
I know.
Now, is it because of the smokers? You got an argument there.
Well, I think people used to like to smoke at the bar, didn't they?
Yeah.
At the tables as well. Smoking goes with drinking.
But as time goes, a new generation accepts it.
Well, they became more gastropubs as well, and they concentrated on food. And I must admit, my wife, who's never smoked, she's Thai, when she went into a pub under the latest regulations, she said, oh, isn't it lovely in here? And I must admit, it smelled great.
Yeah.
All you could smell was food.
So things have changed.
And it used to trying to get through to the bar through clouds of smoke. But my point is, though, back then, it seemed natural to do, right? Smoke on aircrafts. We used to fly to England, and once we had to sit at the back. And I had my child, he was a year old, and that was the only seats available, and that's where you could smoking.
Right.
But what happened was, people used to book non-smoking seats and then go to the back, to the bulkheads and all
have a
that,
cigarette,
whatever,
yeah.
and a cigarette, right, and a drink or whatever. This hostess, she was shoveling everybody back. Can't you see there's a child here? And this is like 20 years ago. And she's shoving everybody. And actually, she had no right to do that.
Yeah.
But and then in lifts, can you imagine smoking a cigarette in a lift?
No,
in department stores? To me, it seems
I
totally
think
alien.
There's obvious places. What I'm saying is that it's got a point where you're being punished for being a smoker. Now you can say, well, you shouldn't smoke. It's not good for your health.
It's not good. That's your choice.
There is a choice.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
The other thing is that cars. Yeah. Now you got your own car. Right?
Yeah.
You're driving along. You're stuck in traffic for 3 hours. You're gagging for a cigarette. Are we going to get done for that as well? Now, if you've got a kid in the car, I quite agree.
But if it's just you,
but you would think about it. You just wouldn't do it.
I know.
Now you say, yeah, but some would. Once again, we're creating a law for a tiny minority.
Of the some would.
Yeah.
Which is how many?
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's another. We're creating something to protect
I
the
know.
extreme minority.
We could talk for ages about this.
Yeah.
Advice for tourists, because if you don't live here, when you come here, you've got to be careful. There's that big scam outside, on Sukhumvit by the Landmark Hotel. There's actually police there waiting. They wait in a little box. I've got some video of it somewhere. Right. And they wait for you to put a cigarette end down on the pavement.
Yeah.
So they're not having you for smoking, but they're having you for littering, right?
Oh, quite right.
Yeah, it's good. Except they remove all the litter bins. So you've lit up a cigarette out of a restaurant and you're going to walk to the BTS. They let you smoke, but what do you do with the butt end?
Simple.
What?
Basically, very aware of this because I got caught once. And,
You did?
and
2,000 baht fine if you want to pay it.
I nearly got arrested because I wouldn't pay it.
Yeah.
But basically, I nibbed it. Yep.
Yeah.
So I still have the filter.
Yeah.
And as much as it sounds horrible, you just put it in your pocket. When you get somewhere, you put it in the bin.
I know.
Or when you see a bin, you put it away.
And do that, because if you're walking, especially around, that's a known area, right outside Landmark, I beg your pardon, outside the Marriott Hotel.
Well, it's right
on
along
that corner.
Sukhumvit, to be honest.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
And they've removed the bins. And what they do is they have people who sell those clothes and things in the stalls. They have communication with the police.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard
There was a story about this, yeah. And I've actually seen, when someone does it, they inform on the mobile phone, and then the guys come running up afterwards and then pick it up.
I've never heard that before, I must admit.
Yeah, well, go. So we've done back in the... So basically, if you're a tourist coming here, study the laws. Because...
Can't study every law. Everyone says,
Well,
but it's a law, you study
the laws.
the
No. If you
the
see
laws
a
of the
no
land.
smoking sign, that's a giveaway. Or if you see other people smoking in an area, then that's where you go, right? If you're in an unknown area, right, and you thought, can I smoke or can I not? You're in a plaza or something like that. You don't. I always would look for a smoking zone, and look for non-smoking signs before I lit up a cigarette.
But they're not always there.
Well, then, I know. So
So
what's your
the
advice?
simple solution is
Don't
don't smoke. Yeah, which is
Well,
fair
when you're
enough.
an
But I look at it
academic-
as in, there's degrees of rights, on
Yeah.
both sides.
Yeah,
I totally agree with what they're saying with the second-hand smoke. There's 5 meters away. I think the restaurants and etc. they should make their own decision on that. Now, some pubs in Bangkok you'll go to and they have an outside area, which is for smoking,
Yeah.
and there's tables, etc.
Yeah.
And they can't smell it inside. So now what they have to say to the people, you're going to walk 5 meters away. The fact is, it's catered for this already, so it doesn't annoy people with second-hand smoke. Yeah, they've thought about that. That's what they've delivered, but now
So-
they're making it difficult for everybody.
So let us know anyway by Messenger on our Facebook or on the it's a good opinion, or on YouTube. But what you think about it? We'd like to hear from you. So don't forget, just leave a message if you're watching it through YouTube or on Facebook, right?
Yep.
Okay. So that's it. Coming up later in some of the videos you'll be seeing, or hopefully be watching this week, we're looking at plastic raises its ugly head again.
All right.
Yeah. Also about fishing, fishing fish, some clip pics and some what's on as well, and a fantastic restaurant that are not paying us to say their name. I just found this and it's right up my alley. So that's all coming up in other videos this week. Okay then, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, sub and share.
And give comments. We want to hear some comments.
We want to hear from you.
Okay.
Okay. Bye for now.